welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here and this is your first time, welcome. My name is Amanda and I usually do Weight Watcher videos related to food, what I eat in a day. But today I wanted to do something a little bit different. This is my vanity table that I've had since I was a teenager, or actually I think even before I was a teenager. So it's obviously ancient because I'm getting up there in years now, but it's looking a little bit rough. It has like a burn stain on it from when I burned it with a curling iron. I mean, it's definitely seen its days. So I've been wanting to kind of give it an antique look, and I've watched quite a few YouTube videos because that's what I do. And I'm going to try the Kilt chalk paint. Now, the video I watched, she did not, it might have been a different kind of wood, but she did not sand it. My boyfriend suggested that I do use like a low grit sandpaper to go over it so that the paint will stay and not chip off. So I got some different ones. I got 100 grit and 80 grit, and this is another 100. So I'm going to start out with the 80 grit and see how that does. Just go over it all one good time before I start painting. All right, guys, so I have sanded it down with an 80 grit sandpaper. I took the mirror off and wiped it down real good so that I got all the dust off of it. I vacuumed it, and now it's time to paint it. Somebody watching me is probably cringing. Somebody who actually knows how to sand and paint furniture is probably watching this like, girl, you just need to stop. Stop right there. And let me teach you something. But you know, I mean, it can't look any worse than it already did, right? And if it does, then it's in my room, and who goes in my room? Not a lot of people, so it's fine. I've always loved to do art and paint. I don't like painting walls. I don't like painting walls. But stuff like this, I actually find pretty therapeutic. And it's probably gonna need another coat. I'm gonna take the drawer out, but it didn't want to come out, so I'm just gonna leave it in there. Paint around it. Just gotta, you know, do what you gotta do, make it work. My boyfriend used to like antique furniture, buy it and, you know, repurpose it. And I'm like, why isn't he doing this for me? I mean, I really didn't ask him to do it, so. Oh, that's lovely. White paint on my makeup sponge. Probably should have taken that stuff out of there. I mean, if this turns out, this could be like, you know, something I decide to do as a side job with all my spare time. Right now, I do have some spare time because I'm a teacher and we are not in school yet, which who knows what it's gonna look like when we go back. It's got my anxiety up. I teach first grade, and just thinking about trying to have first graders wear masks is like, have you ever been in a first grade classroom? They touch everything. They pick their nose. I mean, it's just gonna be a hot mess. From what I understand, most likely they will be either required or recommended to wear masks. So, and as a teacher, teaching all day in a mask, that just doesn't sound good either. It sounds miserable and hot, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, and you want to keep everybody safe and healthy, and so we'll see. I'm sure it'll all be fine. I just don't like not having a plan. Usually, you know, in the summer I'm in school a couple days a week working on my classroom and getting things ready for open house, and at this point I don't even know if we're having open house. So it's just, there's a lot of unknowns at this point for everyone. And I don't think, you know, going to school and being a teacher and being a student is ever going to be the same after this pandemic. I think it's just all going to change. Has the pandemic affected your job? I mean, we ended school several months early. And it was pretty abrupt, and quickly had to transition to online learning, which was new to pretty much everyone. So it definitely affected my job, but honestly, I was just thankful that I was able to keep working, you know, and getting paid, because I know so many people who lost their jobs, and just sad. My son is starting kindergarten this year, and it's like gonna be so different than what I expected his first year of kindergarten to be, you know. Also, they had a wax that you can use after you use this paint to go over it, and I did not get it, but I may end up getting it. I think it's supposed to like set the paint and give it like a shiny look. So I'm just gonna wait and see how it looks after I'm done, and see if I wanna get that. I've got another piece of furniture that I'd like to do this to if it turns out, but that would be a much bigger project. It's like a shift robe that was my grandma's, and it is looking really rough. So I thought, if this turns out, and I keep this in my room as well as a shift robe, so they would be matching if I did that. It's just a very old piece of furniture. I'd like to put new mirrors in it and just really give it a makeover. I honestly can't even believe I still have this. My mom has kept it in my old room and in the spare bedroom, which it was my room, but it was turned into the spare bedroom, obviously after I moved out. And it's just been in there, and I would always sit in the floor to dry my hair. And when I was staying over there one night, I thought, you know, it'd be nice to not sit in the floor. I could maybe use this. So I brought it home, and I've used it ever since. I sit down and do my makeup and blow dry my hair, get ready, and it's been really nice. So I thought I'm gonna update it a little bit. Okay, so I got the first coat on, and this is what it looks like. Definitely needs another coat. Now onto this. I haven't yet figured out how I'm gonna do that. I think what I'm gonna do is wait until after I get the second coat of paint on the vanity, and then reattach the mirror and then paint it. I think that'll be the best way, because it needs to be standing up straight, and really the only way to do that is to put it back on. So I'm going to let this dry, put the second coat on, and see what it looks like. All right, so I ended up putting 3 coats of the chalk paint on here. I liked it with just 2 coats on it, but I went ahead and did 1 more coat. So now I'm going to sand it on the edges, kind of rough it up, give it the antique look, and then I've got some wax that I'm gonna put on here to seal it. So here we go. The 100 grit sandpaper, and I'm just gonna lightly go over some parts to kind of rough them up. Help of both of my boys. They thoroughly enjoyed that process. So I really focused on going over the edges. I did a little bit on top. I don't know if you can really see that. There's a glare. And then, like, watch out, on the corners here. And now I'm going to use this wax to seal it. It says that I could use it or use a paintbrush, or I can use like a cloth. So I'm gonna use this.